Before we get started, let's talk about what this fly imitates. The caddisflies start out as larvae at the bottom of the stream or lake. They're either a cased version or they're free-living. When it's time for them to turn into an adult and pupate, they build a cocoon or they enclose their case. After the metamorphosis, they come out of their cocoon as a ferret adult, that is, a fully formed adult in a pupa skin. That rises to the surface. This fly here that we would imitate is the standard sparkle emerger. The fly we're going to imitate today is going to be a sparkle emerger, but dry fly. So it's the same one, but is emerging out of its pupa skin on the surface. If we look at our caddisfly that is emerging from the pupa skin on the surface, we will get this image. You'll see the part of the caddisfly with all the legs that is not underneath the pupa skin is from here to here. Within the pupa skin is the abdomen, and that would be from here to here. And then extending off the back from the abdomen is the wings that are still within the pupa skin. Then the exited part of the pupa skin is right here.
We'll start out with a size 14, 3 extra long, 1 extra fine dry fly hook. I have a 16/0 brown thread. We'll start about 4 eyelets behind the eye with the jam knot and work our way back. Clip that off. We'll go down to the bend of the hook, and then we're going to come back and stop right above the point of the hook. Take a piece of holographic tinsel in a medium. Now, if you don't have that, you can use silver or gold. We're going to put a tag on here that'll imitate the reflection that comes off of water and air meeting. We'll take another wrap and then we're going to pull this down. And we're going to wrap our way back to the bend of the hook. And then we'll wind it down the bend. Capture that and wind our way back to the point. So a bit of clarification before we get started. What I define as a strand is the bundle of textured yarn that comes off of the spool. And this can have 70, 80 fibers in it. Take a strand of medium done textured yarn and tie a knot at the end of it. We're going to split this in two, comb it out. Then we're going to take half of it, cut that off. We'll save the one with the knot for another fly. We'll bring our half strand underneath and we'll cradle the thread just like that. Let's make one more wrap to hold it in place. Then we're going to fold this back and do a twist on the fibers. And then we're going to wrap all the way back to the bend, making sure the two halves become one again. We'll leave our thread right there. To make it easier on ourselves, we're going to put a piece of tape right there to keep those fibers down and out of the way. If this is the first time you're going to tie a fly on a specific hook size, and you don't know how much textured yarn to use for the outer body, you can also just take a small section that's been combed out and balloon it up and see if that's the look that you're going for. And then add and subtract fibers as you like. What you're looking for is enough of the fibers to be able to hold air drops within the bubble, but at the same time, you don't want to hide the inner body. So for this size fly, I decided I wanted to use a strand and a half, since this is a fairly large caddisfly. If you're going down to a size 16, a single strand would be good. So take your section of yarn, in my case a strand and a half, and tie a knot in one end of it, and then comb that out. Then we're going to split that in half and use 1/2 on each side. Take the 3/4 strand without the knot, bring it underneath, and cradle the thread on it just like that. Then bring it to the side closest to the fly tire, make another wrap. Before we pull it back, we're going to make sure we get some on the top and on the bottom. Lock those in. Take the section with the knot, bring it up and under, onto the top. We'll hold it there till we get another wrap. Then we'll move it to the side. And we're going to pull that guy, and I'm going to tilt my up here so I can see we want it on the top. Let's do one more here. And we want it on the bottom. And we'll end our way back to where we started our fly. For the inner body, I've selected a beaver and some rust antron. So you want to do 2/3 beaver and 1/3 of the antron. If you don't have the rust, a brown will work and match the outer body. Beaver's a little bit hard to dub. It likes to mat, which is a good thing. That helps repel the water from penetrating and sinking our fly. So take a very small amount, and we're going to build up a really tight body. And then we're just going to make a rib out of thread here, hold everything in place. Very subtle segmentation. We get to the front. We'll stop at the eye of our fly. For our outer body, bring that forward. Not any heavy tension on it. And just do a wrap and get that guy on the same side. Two. And we'll just pull that back. And we got that, and we'll got a little bit work we got to do to make it a sphere. For our hackle, we're going to use a rooster saddle. We're going to take this feather, we're going to place it on the top next to the outer body at a 45-degree angle. with the pretty side facing forward. And then we're going to capture that guy. Now I'm going to use my rotary vise, so I need to put in a half hitch right here. I'm going to do 3.5 wraps. I do an extra half wrap. That way it ensures that the barbs from underneath can come out. Cut out a section of deer hair, comb out the fur. We're going to put this in the hair stacker to even up the tips. Now this is a very small wing. It's just enough to go over the inner body and protrude a little bit back off the inner body. Although in this particular fly, the wings are still in the pupa skin, this will give the illusion to the fish that they're tucked in there right behind the abdomen. Now our nice pretty sphere is going to get smashed, but we're going to tie this in. This was about 3/4 the size of a pencil. Make a couple loose wraps. Now take the front of the hairs and lift those up to get those threads back. Then we're going to lock those in place. Okay, get those back and crank those down. If you have to, you can use your half hitch tool and push things back a little bit. And we'll take a little super glue. And we'll soak that into the threads there. Also a little bit into the deer hair. Make sure those little guys don't come out of there. Now we'll go outside. We'll put some Flex Seal on there for our tail.